Hi guys, my father salvaged this old meter here. It's a from the 80s or maybe even earlier 70s. I'm just doing some tests on it now. But I guess, yeah, like I said, 80s and 70s era. I found it does all the ranges, AC volts, DC volts to 0.3, all the way up to 1000 volts. I don't really want to take it up that high, but you know, I guess this thing was made for it. It's got decibels here, and this is its brand. It's a Micronta 22 to dash 203B, 2 joules, and it's got some of the specifications here, and it's got some voltage range and at a decibel, so 10 volts to 0 decibels, 30 volts to 10 decibels, so 1000 volts to 40 decibels. There's 0 decibels equals 1 MW is probably milliwatt, 600 ohms, right, so 600 ohms, that would be just that little slot after the 500, then the 1000, then an 8. I'm not sure what that is, but I got to do some adjusting because this is off its scale. Shouldn't be like that. It's out of focus. Go. It's fine tuning. Hold on. Let's look at that for a minute. I was doing some just voltage tests on this thing. Seems okay. It's a little bit further of a turn. Quarter of a turn. Perfect. Seems good enough. Right. So how I guess this meter works, I haven't really done an ampere test on it, but you've got an ohms adjust because apparently, for some reason, these leads were 15 ohms. I hardly doubt that because I have tested them before. So I turned the ohm adjust knob and it moved the needle to, because it was reading up here. Okay, 15 ohms. Yeah, these leads are not 15 ohms. They're 0. So zeroed out. But anyway, back to the scale. This reads what the hell? Sorry, weird noise. Anyway, from decibels -10 to 22. AC on just these. I'm just reading off these little scales. I'm not reading off that. 0 to 10, and then 0 to 30. DC is 0 to 3 and 0 to 10, and then the ohms, which you can move the light. There we go. Ohms. So from 1K, probably that's meaning 8K. 8K. If you're testing anything, just say some wiring or an extension lead, positive to negative, it should be there. It shouldn't be moving at all. Otherwise it'd indicate there is a short circuit somewhere. Mind you, enough about that. Right, how this works, so if I select it onto the 10 volt range and I'm measuring a 3 volt battery, and this would be on positive DC. I'll tell you how this works afterwards. So basically, if you're measuring voltage, if you want to measure AC, you've got to flick it onto AC. If you're measuring DC, on the positive polarity, so this is the positive polarity, yeah. And if you want to reverse the polarity for some weird reason, so make that the positive, or something like that, you just do that. But it's better to always have everything in good polarity. These are not the best test leads. I need to buy some because the test leads for this meter have disappeared for some reason. But nothing too much. It's just me measuring an AC. There we go. An AC transformer here, 35 volt. These little Christmas lights. 30 volts would not be acceptable, because that would just go, or maybe, but didn't really work for this meter. I tried it, put in 30 volt range, and it went off the scale. So I put onto the 100 volt range. So what you do for the 100 volt is flick it up to there, so we should do, and 30 volts would probably, so it would be 20, 40, there we go, so the needle would be 20, 40, 60, 80, that's 100. So then the meter would move up to in between 2 and 4, maybe a little bit further since it's 35 volts. So it'd move up to that little line there where the 10 is, just there. If you put onto 300 volts, probably what would happen is you'd just go maybe 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. I think that's how it works. And when you go 1,000, that's 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. I wouldn't really want to dare to measure anything over mains voltage on this meter, but I'd like to try something a little bit higher. 600 volts, if I can get that, but have to put these transformers in series to get some sort of voltage like that, and it'd be quite lethal. Play with that. But this meter can read for some, because AC can only measure between 10 and 1,000 volts. So that's just AC. If you want to measure DC, you can the DC range and also turn it up to DC. Because I have tried it, it reads incorrectly if you have them swapped over. And that's what you would really do. So that's 0.3 volts DC, and it's a 1 volt, 3 volts. So 0.3 volts, I don't know what you'd be measuring that gives out 0.3 volts. It's probably a really dead battery, but that is a range on it. So that's just off up in the middle there, and then you get, I think it says resistance times 10,000, which is God, that wouldn't budge at all. And what you'd probably do is just keep it on the, well, you wouldn't really move this. I think you'd probably move it down there actually, because it has the ohm symbol. But I'm going to measure resistance. I'd usually use resistance times 1. So that's this scale up here, resistance times 1. RX1 is just the scale, so 100 ohms, 50, 30, 20, 15, 10. So when I first measured these wires, it stopped at 15, and I was like, hold on a minute, digital meter read something different. Then it was reading, there's no ohms. I mean, there's sorry, not ohms. There's yeah, no, there's no ohms. So it's from, just say, this point to that point there, just with bare wire, there was no ohms. So I had to move this all the way to 0. Then you go resistance times 10, so you would, I guess you'd times 1 times 10, which is 10 basic stuff. 100 ohms, 1,000 ohms, 10,000 ohms, and then you do the same thing. 1,000 ohms, 2,000 ohms, 3,000 ohms, and 10,000 ohms. 20,000 ohms, 100,000, you know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 20,000 ohms, 50,000 ohms, 100,000 ohms. It's 1,000,000 ohms. Pretty sure. Times 10k. Oh god. I'm not going to budge the meter at all, because there's nothing really that high. Mind you. This is amperes, DC amperes. It's 100 microamps. Don't know what you'll be measuring. That'd be taking that much. 100 microamps, 3 milliamps, and this is direct current as well. 30 milliamps, 300 milliamps, 10 amps. So you operate this meter. I'll give you a small demonstration with this 35 volt transformer. Just hook it up. What I'm going to do, preparation before, it's already live. Put it onto AC. Don't want to blow the meter up. One terminal into there. Put the other one. Turn it up to 100 volts on the setting. AC volts. AC. You plug and play pretty much. Plug and go, whatever it says. There we go. It's got a reading. Here we go. 0 volts, 20, 40 volts. And since that is a 35 volt transformer, that's reading, oh shit, slightly higher voltage, 32. Oh wait, no, that's alright. Yeah, so you see that line there is 30, 32, 34, 35 volts, just, maybe 36. Mind you, it's good, very accurate reading, that's what I expect. You just, let's put onto 300 volt range, so, there we go, it's what you expect. See, that's 50 volts there where the 5 is, 50 volts. It's 40, and then there's 30 where it's lying on. Then the 1000 volt range, turn it up there. God, it's just not even, it's barely registering, it's not even saying. That's 200 volts there, that's 100. So that's saying it's, from my eyes, the camera can't really pick it up, it's saying it's actually dead on 30. So that little light, that first little line there, that's 20. So it's in between the 20 and 40, so that's perfect. Very accurate meter. Funny smell, oh, mind you, very accurate. Quite pleased with it as well. So let's turn it off. Oh. Shit, need to do that. Hold on. Just 1 second. Wrong screwdriver. Oh, it's alright. No, perfect. I'll do a DC test on this one as well. Right. So what you do, a DC test, you put it on DC plus, positive DC. Because you don't want to. There's a stupid function up there. DC plus. You got to know your polarities. This one I know it's a negative because this little white wire goes up, crosses the other one to the common. So what you would do is click onto there. I can't really do this with one hand, but what voltage do you think I should turn it on? I know you put on 3 volts because you can't put on 1 because this is a 1.5 volt battery. 3 volts, perfectly acceptable. Okay. It's on DC. Always check that it's on DC. You don't want to get the wrong readings. Hold on. It's hard holding. Go. Sure, that would work. See, it's not. Oh, there we go. There we go. What the fuck? Oh, whoops, sorry. There we go. See, it's on the DC range. See, 0 to 3 volts. It's reading just over 1.5, which is a perfectly healthy battery. Just there. Gotta give this meter quite a clean, actually. There you go. That's about it. I'm not going to do an ampere test because I need to get the manual for this. I don't want to blow it up yet. I don't want to blow it up. But thank you for watching this video. So until next time, thank you for watching, and also like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.